Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik will go head-to-head for the same Emmy Award, it was announced on Wednesday. Both burgeoning Jeopardy presenters have been nominated for Outstanding Game Show Host. Mayim, 47, and Ken, 49, got nods for the very first time for their work on Jeopardy! The TV Academy announced the nominations on July 12, and the new primetime category, traditionally part of the Daytime Emmys, is moving to the main show for 2023. The dynamic duo took over for the late, legendary host Alex Trebek in 2021, and were officially named as replacements in 2022. So this means both have been recognized after just 1 year of officially splitting the treasured role. This is Mayim's 5th career nomination after being nominated 4 times for acting in the Big Bang Theory cast. Meanwhile, this is Ken's first overall Emmy nomination. Also nominated in the category are Steve Harvey, for Family Feud, Keke Palmer, for Password, and the soon-to-retire Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak, who's set to be replaced by Ryan Seacrest next year. Jeopardy! Was also nominated for Best Game Show, an award it scored 19 times, the most of any game show, with a Guinness record 43 Emmy wins overall. The 2023 Emmys will air September 18 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Jeopardy! Fans react to Emmy news. Fans flew to social media where there were mixed reactions about Mayim getting the nomination. A frequent criticism of the actress is often centered around her long pauses while hosting, leading to contestants even adding to their responses while they wait for her to rule. One person tweeted upon the news, "Ugh, Mayim." Another tore on Reddit, such good sports nominating Mayim as well so she doesn't feel bad. However, a third person wrote, "Mayim's steadily getting better, more natural and less stiff, but her pregnant pauses before acknowledging correct answers is odd." A fourth predicted, "The people who vote for Emmys love Mayim, but Sajak is the one who's likely to get the parting gift." A fifth snarked, "I guess they needed to nominate 5 people, one way or another." A sixth wrote, "Mayim has 0 chance. Go Ken." And another, "Ken should definitely win. #vote for Ken." An eighth flew the white flag, "Congratulations to both. Each has their fan base and neither are perfect." The award will probably go to Pat Sajak. That said, many fans think Mayim brings something to the show as well, and a recent contestant told the U.S. Sun she was nothing but professional. Mayim also bowed out of hosting the last month of Jeopardy's current season in solidarity with the WGA writers' strike, as reported by Deadline, and Ken stepped back in as a result. Ken was supposed to be off until the next season begins and has been criticized on social media as a so-called scab by fans and even celebrities for returning to the set. All this comes as Jeopardy! Has survived and even thrived without the beloved Alex. Jeopardy! Boasts a weekly TV audience of over 20 million viewers, making it the top-rated quiz show on television, according to Variety. And the show has always stood behind choosing Mayim along with Ken. Mayim and Ken are both extraordinarily talented and simply lovely humans, Michael Davies, the show's executive producer, previously said. They support the staff and each other. They love and respect this institution of a television program. In return, the staff and I are honored to work alongside them. The air in the studio was thick with anticipation. The lights glowed bright as Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik stepped onto the stage of Jeopardy! For yet another taping. But this wasn't just any regular day. It was an unexpected twist in their already intertwined careers. For months, they had shared hosting duties on Jeopardy! Swapping weeks, lending their unique flair to the beloved quiz show. But the Emmy nomination pitted them directly against each other for Outstanding Game Show Host. It was a moment both thrilling and, frankly, a little awkward. As Ken adjusted his signature smile, he glanced over at Mayim, who stood poised and graceful, her brain working faster than anyone in the room. It was that intellectual prowess that had made her a fan favorite, much like her years as Amy Farrah Fowler on The Big Bang Theory. Still, there was an unspoken tension between them now. The Emmy nomination wasn't just an accolade, it was a validation of their work, and each of them secretly hoped to emerge victorious. The show began, and the familiar chime of the Jeopardy! Theme song rang through the studio. The contestants, eager and wide-eyed, buzzed in with nervous energy. But for once, Ken and Mayim's focus wasn't solely on the competitors. Their minds kept drifting back to that Emmy nod. Who would the Television Academy choose? And how would they maintain their friendly working relationship if one of them walked away with the coveted golden statue? During commercial breaks, the crew gossiped, trying to keep their voices low but failing spectacularly. Everyone had their opinions. "I'm Team Ken," one cameraman whispered. "He's the true face of the show. He's a champion, no one knows the game better." Another crew member scoffed. "Yeah, but Mayim brings something different. She's relatable, smart, and comes from a background outside the Jeopardy! Universe. She's opened the door for a whole new audience." In the control room, the director sighed. "I hope this doesn't get messy. The last thing we need is drama between the hosts." Meanwhile, Ken and Mayim did their best to ignore the murmurs. They were professionals, after all. But as the game wound down and the final question was asked, the atmosphere in the room remained thick with unspoken words. As the contestant wagered everything on the final Jeopardy! Clue, Ken couldn't help but think about his legacy. He was the Jeopardy! GOAT after all, the player who had dominated the show with an unprecedented 74-game winning streak. Hosting had been an honor, but winning the Emmy would solidify him not only as a contestant but as a Jeopardy! Institution. On the other side of the stage, Mayim exhaled slowly. She had been brought in as a fresh face, someone who could bridge the gap between old-school Jeopardy! And a younger, more diverse audience. As a neuroscientist and actress, she felt she was proof that the show could evolve while staying true to its intellectual roots. The Emmy would be more than just a win, it would be a symbol that she belonged in this space, not just as an actress, but as a part of Jeopardy! History. After the show wrapped, Ken and Mayim made their way backstage. The usual banter felt strained, both of them tiptoeing around the elephant in the room. "Congratulations again on the nomination," Ken said, finally breaking the ice, his tone genuinely warm but carrying an edge of competitiveness. "Thanks, Ken." "Same to you," Mayim replied, smiling. "It's wild, isn't it? We're both nominated for the same category. Who would have thought?" "Yeah, wild," Ken nodded, though his smile didn't quite reach his eyes. For a moment, there was silence between them. Mayim adjusted her glasses and crossed her arms. "You know, no matter what happens, I think it's pretty incredible that we're both here. I mean, look at where Jeopardy! Is today." Ken chuckled, the tension easing slightly.